Hey guys, and welcome to the NiBBLE bi-weekly series. We are finally into the arenas of duos, and I can't wait to see exactly what these competitive players have on the line for us over here. Guys, we have 50 duos, and when I tell you that when registration opened, it filled up within seconds. The hype for this tournament is absolutely crazy, and we've come into this position where we're going to be seeing the likes of Neymar, Woke, coming together, Reapsy, Crispy coming together, Travis and Rejects. Unfortunately, Travis and the Cuff will not be competing as a duo here today, but it is a whole new series, it is a whole new format, and we are into the week 18 of the NiBBLE bi-weekly series. Guys, let's go jump into the schedule for the evening. We got 3 games that is going to be booked up for today. Game number 1 just had started, so before we go into this one, let's look at that prize pool of 4,000 Rand. First place earning themselves a juicy 2,500 Rand. Second place, 1,500 Rand. And then in third, 500 Rand, guys. That is correct. That is the prize pool. Top 3 will be walking away with their prize money on Friday, when the top 25 from today qualify into the Friday qualifiers on Friday at 5 p.m. And then tomorrow we'll also have the qualifiers coming through. So make sure you guys are registering. Make sure you guys are booked in, strapped into your seats, ready for that website, because we all know how that registration just immediately wipes out. But let's go over to the players' POVs, guys, and let's jump on board with the players we do have on our hands today. So first and foremost, guys, let's go and jump on board with Rejects. That's Rejects, and then we'll be going to the location of Catty Corner, and we'll bring that up right now over here. So Catty Corner being an interesting aspects of gameplay is going to be one that we don't want to miss out on. Let's see exactly what happens to the sort of scenarios that we sort of get over here. And just to do something quickly, chat, get the POVs up for you guys quickly. There we go. So Travis in the game. So Travis and Rejects competing as a duo. New duo as well. This is their first competition coming together, and I can tell you it's definitely going to be one hell of a bumpy road that we get to spectate from them. On the other side of things, guys, we also do got Glubs and Ace who will be competing here today. And if we go and jump on board with their gameplay, we can see exactly what is the scenes looking like for them. So without wasting any more time, we can jump on board over there right now and look at that. So yeah, Ace and Glubs, they have been trioing of late, so it is good to see them in the duo aspects as well, to bring you guys the best action possibly for the NiBBLE bi-weekly series, week number 18. And it has been an amazing year, guys. We did get to spectate, the case study behind the NiBBLE series that we had on our hands over there. So yeah, we've done so much traction. We've done so many tournaments with the NiBBLE Esports. And you guys can go over to NiBBLE Esports Twitter social page to see sort of a mini recap, some videos, and just what NiBBLE has achieved when it comes down to morality of the players and bettering the community. It hasn't just been about competing in these tournaments. It also comes down to showing the improvements in the community standards and so forth. So definitely has been one amazing journey with the NiBBLE, and it only gets better from here on outwards. But other than that, guys, we also do got the likes of Josh and them competing in today's tournaments. Let's just bring their POV up for you guys so you guys can see exactly what is happening over there. So this is actually extinct, and it does look like they are contested or very much focused on the gameplay around them. So they look to be, questioning whether or not they are contested, or even if they do have enemies in and around them. And I'm pretty sure that they will have somewhat so going forth into it. So yeah, right now we have, the players coming out from here. Extinct and Sleek still very much passive gameplay as it stands. And by the looks of their location, it looks like they're actually quite close to where the Cov and them are located. So the Cov, as well as Luka Rakic, Ace, and the Cov and Chimp will be landing in that position over there. So let's go jump on Joshi or Josh, which we did mention is in this tournament over here. So Joshi in the tournament. Let's see exactly what will be happening right now. It does look for like we also have them quite close to the pyramids area, trying to get in a couple tags. It doesn't look like the duos game number 1 will be seeing Storm Surge for the first moving zones, but these qualifiers in the NiBBLE bi-weekly series has just been getting better and better every single week. But it's a new format, so a lot of these guys are starting to realize that their contested POIs are actually in existence and that they can't be landing there. I mean, we have Smile Dog in the chat saying, I definitely did not die of spawn. So even for him, he is contested at his POI, which we'll love to see going into game number 2. Remember, guys, to qualify into the NiBBLE bi-weekly series is not an easy task. It is only 3 games that we have on our hands, and you need to clutch up 2 of the 3 if you want to find yourself qualifying into the finals, because top 25 will be going into the finals on Friday, guys, at 5 p.m. where we're doing the broadcast and so forth. So if you guys want to go and join us up in the NiBBLE bi-weekly series, make sure to hit that subscribe and turn on post notifications, because we will be having a tournament on our hands. Vagrant and Joshi have a tournament on their hands too, as they seem to be contested in this position. They do got their backs and fronts covered as well as sides, and he is tagged up for quite a bit, trying to expand out over here. And the thing is, they are in a sticky situation where things are looking quite tough for them. The wall's been taken out. A good pump, however, from Josh as he deals 100 straight to the body, and that's max body damage on a blue pump. Let's see whether or not they can clutch up. For now, definitely have changed things around. They need to be careful over here that they do not get shot down and then fall all the way to 4 damage, because that would be crucially not what you want to see coming out from them over there. So let's see exactly what happens and what the situations will be looking like for the team. But for the meantime, it does look like they are safe. Does look like they keep the rotations alive for themselves, and as well as the box fights that they do have in their positions. It does look like Josh trying to make a play for height and try to put themselves in a better position, but it doesn't look like that's going to actually come into play. As it stands right now, they're just sitting at the very bottom and just making sure that everything is fine for now. I say we stay on board to see how this plays out, but for now they have done a good strategy in playing a defense passive position where they haven't really gotten damaged way too dramatically in the plays over here. But let's go see what is happening with Swish and Popcool, guys. Swish and Popcool, that is something we haven't seen in so long in the gameplays over there. But it does look like they are actually dead, so haven't managed to actually make it past the off-spawn situation. So Ty6 actually in a fight over here. Let's get his POV quickly up for you guys. Ty6 and Inferno in somewhat some battle of spawn as well. And it does seem to be relatively close to the pyramid, so they could potentially be fighting Extinct and Sleek. Let's just go jump on board with Extinct and Sleek quickly, just to see where they are positioned on the map. And you can see it is actually Extinct and Sleek taking up the battles right here. Keeping a heightened position over their enemies is a good sort of objective over here. But if they want to get any serious fighting going for the team right now, they need to then jump into the box. Because in 1 minute, zone's going to start coming in, but they are relatively close to the next safe zone. And you can see Sleek sort of put himself in a position. Both teams and oppositions are not really looking to get into that fighting position just yet. As you can see here for, Infernal and Ty6, they're sitting on the low ground, on the heighted position. They're sitting on height. They're not looking to get any damage whatsoever involved of here. So some very passive gameplay, as well as third parties potentially coming into the play, which could put them into a tough position. Let's go jump on board quickly with Joshi just to see where they position, but it does look like they are safe. They've managed to make the rotations out of that fighting position that they did find themselves in. We'll go back over to Exility as well, Extinct as well as Sleek, just to see exactly what's happening. Ooh, nice tags coming out from Extinct onto nearby positions. But the fighting right now that we have on our hands is going to take some time to develop. So we'll move from here into Travis as well as Rejects as they make the rotations together. Travis trying to cover up the rotations for them. And it does look like they managed to disengage from what was a potential threat to the team. We got Neymar and Woke positioned in the games as well. So let's see exactly what happens. Very much center already of the zone. And that zone or the storm is already shrinking. So we'll have the enemies needing to rotate soon into the next zone. And we can only wait to find out where that zone is going to be positioned on the map. Things are definitely going to be interesting in terms of what the finals will be looking like. 4,000 Rand, guys, up for grabs here. Not only that, but it's duos, so it's a whole new sort of aspect going into the NiBBLE. And I'm actually excited that duos is the entire format going into going into 2022. That means the future for NiBBLE Esports can happen for the arena that we are hosting right now, the FNZA series. We could potentially be seeing the formats going into 2022. We could see maybe NiBBLE doing that, but more information will be available as soon as we know exactly what the next play is for the NiBBLE bi-weekly series. For now, guys, we are on board with Name on Woke. They also don't need to make any rotations going into the next sort of form over here. So let's see exactly what happens. Trying to take a couple shots, but the player does have peppers, so he's in a double sort of mobility going into him over there. Clubs and Ace need a long way to rotate, so let's see exactly whether or not they can actually pull through that rotation of gameplay. It's not going to be an easy one because there's still 64 players who are currently alive for the tournament right now. So we do see them chug splash with the chili chugs and a couple players over here getting knocked, but will Glubs get involved? Still very much early, and a lot of players sort of getting in a rotation of beams. They do, however, need a refresh. I mean, you can't be going into end game with 137 wood, 150 brick. They're definitely going to need a lot more. There's also chili peppers for them to be taken over here. As you can see right now, they do have that in hand. Good rotation coming out from the team. I thought it was going to be tough, but they did manage to bring in a refresh, but it isn't a dramatic one as it stands right now. Also quite low on the damage aspects, only 122 damage above. If it was slightly more stacked, I would have said would have been seeing the 50-50 Storm Surge coming into play. However, it doesn't look like that's actually going to be the play for the teams right now. Sleek and Extinct quite low on HP. They are needing to heal up, taking in a couple bandages, but that zone is starting to shrink. And anytime now, we will see the team taking a couple damages right here. And Sleek only on 75 bandages needs to make his way into the zone immediately. He does not want to harm himself or get tagged up in any form, shape, or matter. Now the rotations are looking quite good for the team. Very much using enemy's previous builds and a good top from him, but now they're getting focused. Will they be able to get out of this situation is the question over here. Sleek still very much low on HP. He gets dropped down. They also do get the 50-50 zone, so they're happy with that situation on hand. We'll go back to Glubs just to see how things are cooking up for them and how things have sort of developed so far. They're okay for now as players are dropping dead. Players are getting eliminated. Les picks up an elimination in the kill feed. We are seeing a box fight sort of developed here for Glubs and them, but Glubs takes a massive damage. He needs to get out that position right now if he wants to find himself even breathing seconds later. As it stands right there, he does have enough HP to get back to 200, so he'll be in a good position going forward. Going over to NiBBLE and them just to see exactly what the plays are looking like for them, how things have developed for them as well. They haven't done too much. We're not that active in terms of the rotations and how things have developed for them. As you can see, only 136 damage above, and that's with 53 players being alive. So they could have been in a crucial position if we had about 60-70 players remaining in the 50-50 zone right over here. And I can tell you, if the qualifiers are looking like this for the 50th zone with 50 players remaining, etc., finals this Friday, guys, it's going to be 10 times, even 100 times more better. So you definitely don't want to be missing out on those situations. You want to make sure you guys come through to the live event from 5 p.m. all the way till about 8. So Friday, cancel the jawling. The jawling's not happening. Stay safe with the new variant of COVID and just spectate the NiBBLE finals this Friday evening. It's going to be absolutely massive. The final tournament in hand for Season 8 as well of Fortnite. So NiBBLE Esports definitely giving the Fortnite community something to go out with a bang. And remember, PR is happening. PR is going to be announced on Saturday, coming out from myself. A little promo video over there. So yeah, this Saturday, the best players in Season 8 will be ranked. And looking at all the NiBBLE weeks that we had from week 14 all the way to week 18, PR will be accumulated. So we'll be knowing who the best players in South Africa for Season 8 is currently right now. And I can tell you it's going to be one interesting sort of aspect going into the video over here. 30 damage below for moving zones over here. And they're going to find themselves in a weird position. Name on them. need to make the launch plays. They need to get out of these positions and find themselves in a good play. There goes the launch pad. So they take the fight in the sky, and they will find each other in a good play of position. But they need to take some sort of damage, even if it means a pump going into action for them, just so that they can survive that Storm Surge warning with the 66 damage blow. And a pump comes in as NiBBLE does successfully do that. And now they're above with the threshold. But we need to go over to Travis and them just to see how things are cooking up for them, how things have eradicated above for them. It looks like these duos are not making that much of an effort to get in the damage. I mean, we're looking at 211 damage for Reject and them. We look at NiBBLE on them. They're even at the brink of being sort of electrified by the team. And look who's on height, but on height with Storm Surge needing to take effect. Has the Surge hit Glubs and Ace in the moving zones? They just need one tag. There we go. They managed to get that, but still 6 players are remaining, so they could potentially get back into the threshold being low, and they will survive it. However, still on height, not that much mats at hand. Glubs and Ace need to get a refresh. They need to jump down on these players and pick up their mat count over here. We will stay on board with Glubs and them in a minute as we go jump on board to see what NiBBLE and them are doing. NiBBLE, unfortunately, POV is going to be done and dusted, so we won't be able to see that going into action. It does look like, however, Rejects in a sticky situation. He needs to edit himself out of here. Their team is on each other. They're just hugging the mountain, the terrain, and looking very much happy with the rotations at play. And we go see whether or not Glubs and them have managed to secure their high play in their efforts to see exactly what's happening for them. They get into a box, they get one down, one player's low, they get the team wipe, and they get the refresh of mats. They do also have a launch pad at play, but we saw them at height, and now we see them all the way down to the very bottom. However, a mat, a launch sort of going into the action right there. They're trying to frag and PG for this position, and it looks like they get it successfully, but at what cost? Because now their mat count is all the way low to 8 bolts, but they're on height, something they crucially needed if they want to see themselves going to the very ends of this game. 5 builds over here. Glubs and Ace can potentially go through with an absolute first game bang to make themselves going to the qualifying rounds of finals. Making sure to get everything sort of situated over here, getting the beams in it. They haven't dealt that much eliminations just yet at hand. Six players remaining, 3 teams, so it's a 2v2v2. Which duo will be going out with the win? Let's go jump on board with Rejects to see if they still remain, and they don't remain, so we just go back onto Glubs to see who will be winning this game. Four eliminations, one-on-one situation. Glubs to win the game or to lose it. Nice. And he does. He lines that pump up. He gets the elimination. He gets the victory dance in as well. And that is game number 1 of the qualifying rounds over here that we have on our hands, guys. So just imagine what we could have in line for us for the finals. I repeat, guys, this is something that is, hype. Something that we're looking forward to. It is the duos. Something different. Something to cook up a new story of champions. And we're looking at the first game winners, Glubs and Ace. Are they potentially worthy of game 5, sort of in the final rounds to win the games? We're going to have to find out on Friday, guys, as it looks like they're locked in their victory, sort of going into finals right over there. But guys, we still got 2 more games on our hands, so let's go to a short break and we'll be right back to show you guys the leaderboard as well as the POVs of the games. We still got Swish and Popcool to look at too, which will be focusing on their gameplays going into game number 2. See you guys just then.
what we do here is go back, 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 back.
Hey guys, and we are back for game number 2. Now, the first win going over to Glubs and them is an amazing moment for the team, as you know, they really needed that over there. They really needed that confidence boost going into finals. They haven't had this moment in trios. They haven't really found they sort of footing. But here in duos, they're able to sort of dominate off that first very game that we have here in the NiBBLE bi-weekly series week 18. However, let's go jump on board, guys, with the POV just to see how many players are in that top rank, and we can see that right now. So Ace and Clubs actually in first place, Zoro Tem in second, tied to first place. So this one's gonna be a really, really close tournament. Jojo in third with 56, only 10 points behind. Nyclo and Steo in fourth place with 54, and then Wonder in fifth with 52. In sixth is Warrior and Les. In seventh is Vix and 70 hours of Kovacs. In eighth is Travis and Reject. In ninth is Smiley and Lucid. In 10th is Vague. 11th is Reepsy and Crispy. In 12th is The Cuff and Chimp. In 13th, Bile Jetski. So it basically goes all the way down to the top 23 players, guys. And you can see exactly how competitive this tournament is looking like right now over there. So yeah, that's going to be very, very hectic for these guys on board. And I can tell it's not going to be like an easy battle going forth with the competition and so forth. Like these guys are going to be competing back and forth for game number 2 as well as game number 3. Game number 2 just about to start, guys. So we can go on board with their gameplays over there. So let's see what these guys will be doing, how the gameplays and so forth. But remember, guys, this is what the players are competing for. There's a chance at 4,000 Rand. 4,000 Rand going into the top 3 teams that perform on a Friday evening. First place 2,500, second 1,500, and third being 500 Rand. Let's see what the players will be doing over there. Going over to the games, however, guys, we have on our hands right now is Popcool and Swish. Let's see how they can perform with the evening with us over here, guys, to see exactly where they will be positioned. Right now, as it stands, they did die of spawn there at Steamy Stacks. We did get to witness that they didn't survive it, but will they be able to pull a rabbit out the hat for game number 2 to sort of bring in that off-spawn victory? Whether or not they will be contested is the question. I mean, having to kill Swisher and Popcool off-spawn game number 1 is obviously based on RNG. If the RNG goes in favor for Swish and Popcool, then things start to turn around. So it could be interesting to see what would really be happening with the team over here. So good drop spot going into Steamy Stacks. I wonder if they are contested. We are hearing enemies in and around. They're going to the second main building, or even potentially to the chest over here. They've managed to secure that, and it is a pump. So the team needs to be very careful in terms of what actually happens over here and how the rotation's going to play. But already both teammates have a pumps, have everything they need, and he does have a green pump at hand as well. But he needs to heal because his damage has already been sort of down quite a bit. Hopefully Popcool's also in a good position to, you know, go into endgame successfully, or even into off spawn. Sorry, endgame is very far from now. They still need to even fight each other here at Steamy Stacks, and I can tell you they will be going into that battle. I mean, you want Steamy Stacks cleared and open for you going into the finals. So why not be clearing your qualifier 1 teams just to see exactly what the case and play will be for your team. Looks like they have the heightened position of the teams as well over here. And he could potentially hope that they, you know, they do go out and build for, or fly onto the stacks. Because realistically, I don't know if they know that Swish is over here on height. But he's waiting patiently to see exactly what happens for this POVs. While that is still going into action, we can go jump on board with Mandra as well as his teammate. We did see last time around, however, they did die of spawn and they didn't get to make it into the position that they do find themselves in. However, that's not the case this time around. They do find themselves here chilling. As well as Jesserals and Smile Dog, as they also tried to make the rotation for themselves, but just didn't get to find their plays. However, we see them now, and they look to be in a much, much more comfortable positioning for themselves. Going back over to Swish, and we see Nanu going down, taking the heat over here, not even into the shakedown, and the dance sort of coming in play for them. So just successfully getting their first elimination. There's still one more player in and around Steamy Stacks. They got 3 launch pads here at Steamy Stacks, guys. So this is a team that may potentially just go into the end games looking so much more happy with their rotations and everything. I mean, at this point, they have a rotation from 4th zone into 50-50 and the first 2 moving zones. So if they want, they can really make it to the very end of their games and save their mat counts that they have in their inventory right over there. So this is a team to watch going into endgame. Their loadout is looking so good. So let's keep in mind for what that position could be looking like for the teams over there. We looked at Extinct, however, in the kill feed. We did see him get eliminated. I'm going to come on board now to Sleek to see things even being quite detrimental for him. His mat count is looking terrible. His loadout is okay, however, but only 600 builds, and hopefully in 100 seconds, whatever the case may be, he can actually make it all the way to get the reboot card. But I highly doubt that could be potentially the play. Guys, the things are not looking too good for them over there. We'll go and jump on board with Ty6 and Inferno to see exactly what is happening with them and how things are looking like for them. But it does look like, however, they are safe with their rotations. They are making the plays going in for them, and they can really start to focus on the mobility going forth for the team. Going over to Neymar Woke, we didn't get to see an endgame coming out from the team. However, here from Misty Meadows, I wonder how that rotation was for them. They were very much silent in terms of the aggressive gameplay that we usually get to spectate most of the time, right? Because they had, under Surge all the way to the very end, and if it wasn't for that pump that they managed to connect in the end game from Neymar, then there would have been, like Glubs and Ace being tagged up a little bit by the Surge. Just quite close to them, which if we do remember, was Mandra just rotating in and around the area over here. So I wonder if, they could potentially bump each other. I mean, if you look at that bounty that they currently have on, it is onto Mandra as well as FaZe. So let's go jump on board, guys, with Mandra to see how he could potentially escape this rotation over here. It does look like they are safe, however, with the rotation, because they are in a vehicle moving at a fast, rapid speed. So FaZe Turkey as well as Mandra are in a good position to rotate into the zones away from Neymar. So Neymar and Woe can't even go in for the W key or even try and make the play for some eliminations. The Cub gets an elimination onto a player, so that's really good play coming out from them. We'll go over to Swish, and they're still sort of in the same position, just waiting for anything to happen. I mean, they don't even need to make any rotations whatsoever. They safe that the zone is in Steamy Stacks as well, and that zone rotation is now closing in just about a minute. We'll start to see the teams sort of get out of that position over there. I wonder if Extinct has managed to get rebooted over here or even alive. It doesn't look like that is the case just yet, as Sleek still needs to make his way to a reboot van to see the team coming out alive from that one over there. Tie 6 and Inferno on the rotations, getting eliminated, however, and it does look like this could potentially have been the Cov as well as Chimp, because that is usually what the Cov skin is. And yeah, Glove starts getting elimination now, but there is still a chance to get another elimination onto Vix ZA. As you can see, the bounty is quite small. They know his accurate position, but it doesn't look like they're going to be making the decision to actually go in W key, playing it a lot more safe and passive in terms of the rotations over here, which is really good. They want to try keep the winning distance that they've already managed to put onto the leaderboard. They are currently tied as well, so any play for the team right now could potentially mean that they could get eliminated. Dirty Dogs seems to be in the zone, and it does look like this team is going to be going in for the pylon place. Let's see whether or not it will be into the next zone. So Travis and Rejects now going to be making those rotations into the play. They've already gotten a knock as well, and they're going to be scanning down the player. But it doesn't look like they could potentially see exactly where the player is located over here. But nonetheless, they still will be using the launch pad as well as the air rotations. I don't really know what those are called. Air vents, air tunnels, something like that along those lines. Does look like, however, they do find the opposition, and Travis is getting involved over there. Rejects coming in from behind for some backup, and this is what we really want to see. We want to see those activeness sort of coming into play. Nanu7 somehow still alive in the gameplay, managing to get revived after being eliminated by the Swish and Popcool duo. The team getting a sort of doubly keyed over here could potentially be Vix ZA. I mean, if you saw the rotations that came into play with Vix and them, while Clubs had the bounty. It was actually quite near this area, but who has wildcards in the area in the game? It could also be, you know, the likes of Neymar on them. I don't know if Neymar would be using his wildcard, however, in the game. So quite relatively close to Travis as well as Reject, but they're just going to be using the air tunnels to rotate and not go in for any double key whatsoever. Just getting tagged up quite a bit. Woke and them need to find a good position for themselves over here, and they do, because onto a huge brick, just getting their cover in, still on the outskirts of the zone, playing it passive over here, which is really a good position you want to find yourself in. Travis and Reject rotating, just marking up the next enemy, and you know, for dealing the damage already, they're not too aggressive. There's Clubs and Ace looking to get in some damage in as well from the pylons. Go over to Mandra to see whether or not he's alive. Boxed up, healthy, mat count looking good. Just a little needed a little bit more metal, and they would have been in a much more better position going forward over there for the zones. Jesschultz and them seem to be alive this time around. You know, we didn't see them in the end games last time. It was very tough for them to be in that position. Does look like a couple players rotating in the truck, trying to get the distance in to the zone. Jessel's and his teammates have put himself in a good position. So center zone is really where you want to be going into the gameplays over here. Filling up their vehicle for the next sort of rotation from their gameplay, and I can tell you they're gonna be in the next zone, so they're not gonna be rotating too far off. And ooh, Reject with the absolute beam, managing to connect all the shots over there. Slipstream. Kryptonic, I love you for that. Yeah, slipstream is the word. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate you. So, yep, Rejects and them very much active this time around, putting a lot of kills onto the map. So this is really where you want to find yourself in terms of eliminations and so forth for clubs. And then they're happy, guys. They're in zone. They've been in zone. They're on the highest part of the maps right now. That player looking very quite low, and it's Kiyam, a console professional player for Punishers, getting eliminated on the rotation. So very much not happy with how that was played out for them. So much mats. There comes the duo sort of flying in as well. Doesn't go center zone, however. And it does look like one of the players trying to make the rotation for the play of Mats could potentially find himself being in a sticky situation. Paris quite active in terms of eliminations on the board. He's done so well looking at the kill feed. He's been getting in numbers on numbers. Still on the very edge of zone is Neymar Woke, playing it passive, finding a sort of a new sort of gameplay for them. Like we've seen in the past numerous times, you know, Neymar Woke, very aggressive players, know how to box fight, but early stages, playing it for the placement points, trying to get in as much as they can, which is really, really what you love to see. Players adapting and changing their game styles to sort of better their gameplay. I mean, if you look at it right now, it's working off to their advantage. I mean, if you look at them, they're in a good position. You know, they've managed to get into zone twice, three times, always, and they could potentially even get the 50-50 zone yet again. But I think Gloves and them now need to make the rotation outwards over here, and they do so, getting themselves relatively close. They will build up. They are in hard mat. He's gonna get tagged up down to 128 HP. He does have chili chugs as well as minis and a big pot. However, to get back to a decent amount of HP, they're gonna also then chug once and twice, and again. 43 players remaining. Now, why I think duos going into next year won't be as entertaining as trios is because of the players of being more contested at their POIs. I mean, if you're looking at the competitive gameplay, right, there's 33 trios in a single map. However, there's 50 duos in the particular map. So a lot of the POIs are going to be contested off spawn. A lot of the rotations are going to have a lot more players being involved in the same sort of loot paths and rotations going forward. And that is why, like, the NiBBLE bi-weekly series is so important, because if they're not picking up, you know, the consistency in POIs, the consistency in gameplays, how will they know when to adapt to the play styles? How will they know when to change POIs? So really, the consistency structure that is behind the NiBBLE bi-weekly series is why trios work so well in South Africa. It's why every week we jumped into the gameplays. We had massive Storm Surge coming into play. It's because of the NiBBLE series that we have on our hands. Just the consistency that we always get to spectate out of the teams and so forth has been amazing, has been so crucial to the development of competitiveness in South African Fortnite. And even Africa itself. I mean, we've got players from Seychelles, Kenya, Nigeria, Mauritius, all competing here in the NiBBLE bi-weekly series. So it's been an entertaining series that we've had on our hands, and a beautiful 18 weeks. But now we are wrapping it up for 2021 to see exactly what's in line for 2022. Here, Rejects and Travis don't have any big pots. They don't have any much heals on their hands as well, as they now only on 150 HP each. The Rejects taking in a couple shots, which is what you love to see, getting in those tags, and we're down to 38 players. Let's see what the 50-50 zone would mean for these teams right now, as the teams that they just focused up is chug splashing. They can actually go and make a play for those drops so that they can get launch pads, but they have launch pads in the back pocket, so they're very much happy with that in terms of the rotations going forward. Here's Neymar and Woke making the rotations in the sky, and when you have so many launch pads, you can actually then utilize them for, you know, for each particular movement and moving zones and so forth. So they have two more launch pads that they can utilize for the first moving as well as for the second moving zone. So always use your mobility when you can, guys. You save so much on mats, you save so much on the rotations that is being played at hand. So many people using vehicles to rotate, so many people on foot, so much gunfire being displayed in the skies and so forth. They get a knock onto Patosh. Question is, will they go and double key this right over here? They do have a launch pad which they can potentially use, and hopefully Name on them do get the eliminations. We said passive players at hand right here, but look now. Now they're on 3 eliminations, and they just seem to be doing the damage across the board and trying to pick up as much as they can. However, I feel like Rejects and them are the ones who have been so much more active in terms of their positioning going forward and how they've done their gameplay on the other hands and so forth. However, if you look now here onto Smile Dog and Jesholz, they need to make a max rotation. So let's stay on board with this team to see exactly what goes into the play for them. Nice rotation. 209 damage above, so they have been active. They need to stick to each other. So Smile Dog and Jesholz making a really good rotation for the team. Let's go jump aboard with Neymar to see how things are working off with them. Once we get this team into the final closing zone, Glubs getting a knock. So their consistency is looking to be paying off into the second game over here. They get that confirmation as well. The team, Smile Dog as well, had Jesholz making some successful rotations. But let's go jump on board with Neymar and Woke to see how things are looking off for them. Woke, however, being eliminated on the rotation, not really what you want here. But this is Neymar who has done some potential crazy plays for themselves. They get an elimination over there, so that has been successfully onto the ranks over there. They could have blown the canister, which could beam and be detrimental to so many teams who have no hard mats and building in wood over here. Does look like he will find himself in a good position, and he still has a decent amount of mats to work with. So rotating as a solo to grab those placement points as well as eliminations, he's already done so well in doing so. But let's go look at our Victory Royale winners game number 1, and look where they're positioned. They're on height yet again in the gameplay, just ranking in the points, doing so much for the teams right over here. So it's been amazing to see them rotate through and through. Smile Dog and them would be crazy to see them alive, but they are indeed. However, they cannot rotate in the zone. Now you see Smile Dog with the rotation that he's doing on his own over here. So managing to get into zone. He is successfully in zone. He takes a Slurfish to get a decent amount of HP, but 17 players still remaining, so much placement points on board. And I say so much, there's still 10 teams alive in the arena match number 2, and he's making the rotation with a decent amount of mats left alone for himself, just boxing up, not really involving himself in damage. And just as I say that, they get eliminated and they get sent back to the lobby to repond on what they can do better in those rotations. Neymar still alive in this one. He still has a decent amount of HP to utilize as well, but will he get some eliminations? He does get some tags. He's gonna sit in zone as well over here, as we do see the players just in front of the positions, but he needs to go in with the pump and a crazy play. He does already get a good tag onto the team, and he can't do furthermore any action for them over there, and will be getting eliminated. We go over to Glubs and Ace, where they can potentially be walking away with a second win. He gets one elimination onto Cozy 1X. They go on high. They got so many eliminations. 10 double-digit kills right here for Glubs and Ace, as they show the consistency and gameplay. We just love to see what is happening with the duo over here. Something to be talked about going into finals. Will they show the same consistency? It's qualifier 1, baby, and we're on board with Glubs and Ace as they look to secure the second Victory Royale. They're on height right now with 5 players remaining. It could potentially be 3 duos, 1 solo, 2 other players on our board over here. So let's see exactly what can happen and what can go into play. Reloading his org so he can get into a good fighting position. Heals up Ace. Ace now needs to go down and frag because he is quite low on that HP. However, not getting those eliminations. Ace getting in a pop off of Matter, and it's going to come down to a one-on-one situation. He's going to try and get the kill off, but will he have enough time? He won't. He gets a massive pump, however, and he gets the win. Glubs clutching up back-to-back Victory Royales as a solo, and he's done so in hopes and faith onto Ace, dealing the damage on the low ground, and he's definitely showing up to the party as well. So it's not all just about Glubs. It is a duos event that we have on our hands, and the team is showing up to the party with successful gameplays. Guys, Glubs and Ace, what do you have to say about that duo? Do you think they have the potential to go into the finals, winning the entire event over there? We're gonna have to wait and find out on Friday at 5 p.m. But a congratulations to Glubs and Ace for doing the most over there. Guys, we're going to be taking a little bit of a short break while we set up game number 3. So we'll be back after the short break.
What we do here is go back, 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 back.
Hey guys, and we are back for game number 3, the final game of qualifier 1. And the leaderboard is looking so crazy. The consistency out of the players is exactly what you would love to hope for coming in for these guys. So probably the best is Ace and Clubs coming in first over there with their back-to-back victory royale and a 12 elimination count for game number 2. The Coven Chip making a comeback of some sort, now jumping all the way to second place with 94 points. But look at that already. So 146, and then we're down to 94. So consistency matters the most over there. So Vix over here with some consistency of their own. They have 90 points there. Cobra x Jojo with 82 points. In 5th is going to be Reepsy and Crispy in 80th. And then Cozy and then Marcy in 78. And then Zorro and Tem in 7th. Vogue and Dan in 8th. Travis and Rejects in 9th. Nyclo and Stale in 10th. And then Neymar and Vogue in 11. So that's going to be really good. We're going into the last game right now, bit behind schedule, but last game for the competitors to qualify into finals, where finals will be 4,000 Rand. Let's go see exactly what will be happening with these guys when we jump on board with their gameplays. It's going to be very, very much interesting to see what the competition is going to be looking like. But nonetheless, guys, I think Swish and them will be fighting off Spawn yet again. So why not go jump on board with their POV to see exactly how things are looking like for them, how if they can progress, because they're going to need a massive game, about 6 points, about 40 points to qualify. So they just haven't really found their footing just yet. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see exactly what the case will be for the team going into the future. Eighty-eight players going into the final game over here. It's going to be very much another interesting game to have on our hands. And quick off the battle bus, we do have Swish and Popcool who will be dropping into Steamy Stacks right over here. So they were contested last time around. We did see Nanu, I think, as well as Buzz sort of contesting each other, which, to be honest, was really good off the bat for Swish and them. But they go into the thing, so let's see exactly what will be happening. Good drop spot coming in from Swish as he drops straight into Steamy Stacks, and it does look like he will have the lowest drop into the map, which is really what you want. So getting contested over here, they need to make sure that they win this fight over here, because then we'll be seeing the competitors coming in tomorrow. Yes, that's right, guys. Tomorrow is qualifier 2, right? So tomorrow we have qualifier 2. Friday we have finals, and that is going to be the NiBBLE bi-weekly series. It's going to be interesting to see exactly how they can compete against one another. Nice 46 head dink. Just needs to get a couple more shots onto the player, and unfortunately unable to connect that. But they already have an advantage in terms of damage. I say they push this now and find themselves in a crazy play for them going forward. Question is, will they be able to do so in the map over here with the fights and so forth? It's not really going to be one of the most easiest battles, but they can do something along the lines. Looks like we have Extinct and Sleek sort of going into somewhat of a battle here at Risky Reels. Sleek and Extinct very much in trouble. But let's just jump on board with Swish quickly, guys. And it does look like Swish and them are out of this one over here. And now the battle between these two players and oppositions here at Risky means a lot for them. Here at Off Spawn, they can't really take too much of a risk. They do get a massive pump, and now he wants to go in for the action. And he jumps out. He gets straight into the map over here. Going to be breaking down the player, which is really good strategy. He does not want to waste any more time over here. Extinct, trying to do the most. Got the harpoon. Gonna harpoon straight into the player's box. The team meets up together, so the opposition back and ready for the action. Not that much room to work with the enemies. They get the chili chug splash on. But Extinct with the full box, and oh, he got him in there, but he misses the pump, and he gets the 100. But however, he now needs to jump out of this one. Sleek needs to clutch the plays, and it doesn't look like he's able to do so. Now it's on the hunt for Sleek, and it gets Sleek done and dusted, even with the player boxed up in a little cute little box. He just cannot survive that one, and it gets eliminated. So unfortunately, Extinct and them are done and dusted. Let's go jump on board with Ace, and E-Tech has gloves now being substituted just for the final game over here. It doesn't look like we'll have them sort of competing towards the third game, but as it stands right there, you can already see the team is qualifying into the final round, so they're very much happy with how that's looking like for the team. Then Jess Schultz and Smile Dog just on that rotation over there, so they look very much fine in terms of how things are going to be for them. We'll go and jump on board with Ty6 and Inferno to see how their rotations are being played out. And you can see they just outside that Risky Reels fight that had been broken down between Extinct and Sleek. Does look like the competition here for Ty6 and Inferno not looking good as they get the eliminations onto the player. Inferno trying to get out of this one, and there's another third party involved over here. And a fourth party coming to the party as well. So this is a bloodbath, a massacre of an event. And for Inferno, he's safe. Really, at this point, you also can't be taking heals because with the visuals, a lot of these pro players have them on due to the buff. So if you're healing in the bush, they will exactly know. You can get a huge pump onto this player. It's gonna run. He can get the player back into the map as well, so he's happy with the disengagement that is at play. Needs to get out this vehicle. It is literally only 196 damage away from being broken. Does look like Ace and E-Tech are finding themselves in a position of battle. Let's see how things turn out for them. Oh, one player down. E-Tech already in a tough position as Ace takes that launch pad out of this one. Not looking to fight anything or anyone around them. Rejects and Travis seeming to be in a fight. That is Ace building away, so Travis really trying to get a location and beam onto Ace right now. And unfortunately, Rejects and them just could not find that final finishing touch to the eliminations. And oh, there goes the beams. And he's one tap. Very, very close to being eliminated. Ace running on thin ice over here. There goes the eliminations as they've now managed to finally do so. Go over to Neymar. Neymar at Pleasant Park. Couple shots being shot at. So be able to tune into the event soon. Nice beams. Neymar can get the final finishing over here. But oh, third party just taking in on to the actions right over there. Oh. NiBBLE finds himself all the way into stealthy stronghold, still needing to make the rotation, as now the zone is shrinking for quite a bit here in the games. Does get tagged up. Now needs to heal up. He does have minis and a big pot, so he is okay with this one. But the team is moving on to the positions with a heavy pump at hand, like we are seeing NiBBLE have right now. He could be in a good one, but now Woke also getting quite damaged. He needs to make the rotations out of this one successfully. They meet together. Misses the opportunity to beam the player with the pump. The zone is on them, ticking for 2 damage as well. And you can see Woke already clutch up one of the kills. So there's just one more enemy in and around. Oh, he's down, but he can't get revived over here. He's not in zone though. Finally makes his way in. Oh, and unfortunately just couldn't make it out of that one. There has the zone put so much pressure onto the team, right? And just couldn't really make the rotations out of that one. Travis and Rejects as well, finding them somewhat in a tough one position over here. Rejects and Travis seeming to be the only duo that is alive in the games for the POV. So we need them to sort of clutch up onto their games that we have on board with us over here, guys. They are doing the damage, though. They're looking left, right, and center to find every sort of player that remains into the NiBBLE bi-weekly series game number 3 that we have on our hands. Week 18, guys, a duos format. If you guys are looking to try register for the tournament, you guys can do so tomorrow at 3 p.m. where we'll have, you know, the second qualifiers and only top 23 going into the final rounds of the gameplay that we have. Finals to take place on Friday evening at 5 p.m. So let's see exactly what happens over there. But Rejects and Travis trying to do the most that they can in this position to try stay alive, deal the damage from everyone across the board. Lucid gets a knock in the kill feed over there, and you can see Rejects just topping ahead, trying to make sure to get the loot that remains over there and so desperately need, right? Because if you look at the mat counts on the body right now of Rejects, he's down to literally no brick, no metal, and he can't get a heavy pump as well. If you guys looking to sign up for the tournament, make sure to go to eliteproseries.co.za and you can do so over there. Wonder getting elimination as well. A max pool for the players, but they do have Red Peppers. I wonder if they also have another launch pad in the back pocket. Travis is usually the player and IGL to make the decisions when to rotate and so forth. So we will be seeing them doing exactly that. So much space available for them. Actually, they've rotated an entire base, so they're quite close to that max pool. They can easily go through. "17 players remaining." Nice pump from Rejects. Making sure to focus every bread and butter. Rejects trying to take the wall over here. He has so much mats to work with now. Needs to drop down all the way down to Travis and drop as much mats as he can. It's only 110, but it does keep them leveled in terms of going to the very end game position. Ooh, almost box. He does box one though. However, Travis gets hit extremely hard. Now needs to heal up. Travis staying ahead of zone, as he should, seeing that he's only on 20 white HP. Rejects done and dusted by the Curve. Goliath Travis former duo, and they've done so well in the duo format for themselves, but unfortunately getting eliminated completely by Chimp and the Cuff in this position. Getting tagged up by height, but now claiming absolutely low. But this is not really where you want to find yourself in. Seeing that there's no really platform for you to walk on, they need to get back onto a higher position. And unfortunately, we just won't be able to spectate that very last moments over there. But that is the tournament, guys. That is the qualifier one that we've had on our hands for the NiBBLE bi-weekly series duos. Guys, we'll be back with the qualifiers 2 happening tomorrow, so make sure you guys don't go anywhere. Make sure you guys subscribe, make sure you guys turn on post notifications, because it's just gonna get more entertaining from here on outwards. The things are gonna be so much more harder to qualify, because some of the teams that didn't make it today are gonna come back tomorrow knowing what's at stake, knowing how the competition is displayed, and then finals will be on Friday at 17 p.m. So make sure you guys come on through, and a huge thank you to the entire team at NiBBLE to making sure that this is continued series. Week 18, 4,000 Rand on the board for you guys to walk away with a chance at winning. Guys, we'll see you for the further action tomorrow, so make sure you guys come back on in. But the stream is ending, so see you guys then.